players, and Cole Stout wasn't a returning starter, won the ACC like Kelly is. But was there anything that you learned that season that you might apply this year, or is it just a totally different situation for you?
It's a totally different situation. I mean, I wouldn't change anything about that particular season. And you know, we going into the game, we were very confident. We knew we were kind of close, and you know, we didn't win the game there in Athens, but the next game we kind of played them. You know, I think they played about 50-50 by the time the game was over, and then we go into Tallahassee, and Deshaun kind of separated. I mean, he just took the job, and he was ready. So, you know, I think that, I mean, that's as far as what we learned. That's kind of hard to apply to, you know, different people, different quarterbacks, different situations. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the main thing you learn is you got to have guys have to earn it, and you got to have, especially at that position, you know, you got to have a great system in place as far as, you know, accountability, how you grade, and you know, give guys the opportunity to compete in practice every single day, and then it'll play itself out. And you know, the gap was wider with Cole and Deshaun coming out of spring that year. You know, Deshaun was 180 pounds and coming off a broken collarbone, and you know, Cole was very settled, and Cole really didn't do it. Cole didn't regress at all. It was just Deshaun, just, you know, and that's just what happened. All of a sudden he comes back, and by the end of camp, you're like, okay, man, this kid, he's got a chance to be pretty special here. Our schedule was really challenging that year. Obviously, you're going to Athens first game, and then we had I don't remember who we played at home, but we had an opportunity to kind of 50-50 them. And then and you're going right into Tallahassee. But it just kind of worked itself out. And again, I think, I mean, Cole really, in my opinion, didn't regress. And I didn't think he handled himself well after he lost the job, as far as as far as just still competing to be the guy, you know. And he wasn't ready in the Georgia Tech game that year when Deshaun got hurt, but he was ready when we played Oklahoma, and MVP of the game. So you know, he was a good player for us, and you know, did a good job in his role here, and you know, this situation's very different. It's just not even the same. You got a closer gap coming out of spring, because you know, you were able to see everybody in for a full spring practice, and then you know, you got Chase, who's been here now, has a real good grasp on everything, and then Trevor has demonstrated, you know, really great aptitude picking things up. Obviously, he's got a great physical skill set, so it's exciting, man. I mean, it really is, because nobody works harder than Kelly Bryant, and he's just a winner. He's just a winner. That's all I can tell you. And you know, I as the head coach, and you know, I'd love just seeing a guy and how he's worked and how committed he's been to this program, the type of young person he is. I'd love to see him win the job, but he's got to. I mean, he's got to win it, and you know, you got to give everybody the opportunity to compete. As I said, you can't say, well, okay, well, we did this last year, so this just carries over. It doesn't work that way. That's not the real world. It's not personal or anything like that. You give everybody the opportunity to compete, and then you make decisions as coaches based on what you've seen. And to be honest with you, the players can set the depth chart. There's very, very, very rare times where a player's going, what? You know, it's just it's that way in the media a lot of times, because you guys don't get to see them every day. You're not in meetings every day. You don't watch all the film. You don't. And if you do, sometimes you don't really know what you're watching as far as what they're being coached to do, and so you know, but the players know, and so you just go through the process, and then it all works out. And then whoever wins the job, you still got to go perform. It's not like you have a contract for the season, you know. You got to play well, and so that's just, to me, that's one of the reasons we've been so successful and so consistent as a program, is because of what we practice against every day, how we practice, the competition at practice. It's a tough day's work every single day, and we have so many talented guys. Everybody wants to run out there first. So, obviously that's not going to happen. So, can you position yourself to be one of those guys that deserves to play? And then when you do play, how do you play? Do you play well? Don't worry about, I only played 10 plays. How about how'd you play in those 10 plays? And then let's go from there. So, that's just the way it is. If anything can happen over the course of the season, I just know that everybody's got to be ready for their opportunity.
I think Kelly last year made his biggest game between April and August. Do you think that it's necessary
No question.
to have a similar trajectory this offseason to keep starting it out?
No, I think he just needs to play well in practice. He just needs to demonstrate every day that he's the best guy. And again, that's every rep counts. And Streeter does such a great job of managing that and putting them, making sure they're all in a fair opportunity to win the job and compete for the job. But there's no question he made incredible strides from last spring to when he came back in fall camp. I really thought it was going to be really tight in August. I really felt like we were in for a real battle, and it just didn't turn out that way. I mean, we kind of went in and he separated, and I mean it really wasn't close. And you got to give him a lot of credit, man. He really worked his tail off, and I promise you, he's done the same thing. But now he's got a whole different mindset behind it. He's just got more experience. He's had some success. He's had some failure. He's very focused. I mean, this kid's got thick skin, because he's had to grind to get to where he is as a quarterback, and so it's going to be quite a battle. Because again, Chase and Trevor, I mean, they're not going to go away. These are two really dynamic and very talented young players that are going to come out there and compete. But the good news is, I really, really, truly believe that we can win with any of those guys, and I don't think we've really had that situation. When I say win, I'm talking about compete for the league, and they're all great young people. I mean, these are great young men. They like each other. They all get it. We're very transparent. We just put it all on the table. I have my exit meetings with these guys. I mean, I just think that's the best way to be and to communicate. Everybody know exactly where they are. That's why we're so thorough in how we evaluate, how we grade, because they need that feedback. And then, hey, let me go transform this summer. That's what we call it, transformation. And then let's see where you are. So it's going to be exciting because I think you got some very competitive guys but Kelly has handled the pressure, I mean, very well. Very, very well. I mean, you go back to last year, that kid made some big plays for us in some critical situations, and he hasn't forgotten that. And he made some mistakes too, and missed some plays and things like that. But that's talking about a first-year guy, so I expect he'll be much improved.
In terms of reps, does losing Hunter benefit Chase the most, or do all three of those guys see more reps as a result?
Yeah, all three of them will see more reps. We tried to divvy it up. I mean, we really let them all four compete this spring, moved them around. We went to multiple scales. I mean, we had people everywhere and we did that to really, really evaluate the quarterbacks and, just kind of see how far we could get in spring practice. But yeah, it'll be more reps. We're gonna start Ben there, but he's obviously at ground zero. Trying to figure out what to do, but it'll definitely be more reps for all three of them, especially Chase and Trevor.
Meanwhile, you'll also have a defense out on the field
Yeah.
besides the quarterbacks. Yeah. Are you excited about watching that group not only in fall camp but this year, considering how many special players are dotting that group?
Yeah, I think the thing that there's a lot of talented guys, but there's a lot of guys on that defense. When guys decide that could leave and they decide to come back, they don't come back to kind of coast. They come back with something to prove. It's kind of put a statement, an exclamation point on their career. And I think we got a bunch of guys over there on that side. We got a couple of juniors that may have an opportunity to test the waters this year. And so, that's not what it's about, but they all are eager to perform at a high level, and they all understand that they need the guy next to them. There's just a lot of connectivity on that defense. And you look at, I think our corners have a chance to be really good. I mean, Trayvon, the focus of that guy is at another level. And AJ is had a good year last year, but boy, is he going to be special. Mark Fields, I'm hopeful that he's going to put it all together this year and have his best year. He certainly has shown what he can do, and we got a couple of new guys that'll add into that equation. But Isaiah Simmons, he's gonna be an exciting. I'm excited to see him because he's haven't been around many guys like him. He's kind of Dorian in that he's unique. You know, Dorian was a very unique player. Isaiah's the same way. Obviously, different body types and things like that, but are both just you'd put them in that category. Like, okay, you got your Mike backers, you got your Will backers, and then you got guys that are just like unique. And you know, Vic Beasley was unique, and that's how I would say Isaiah Simmons. I think he's a guy that can do a lot of things. He can cover. He's got great length. He can play the back end as well as anybody. He can play in the box. He's physical. He's an excellent blitzer. He's a natural guy when it comes to blitzing. Knowledge-wise, he's come so far now. So I think he's going to be an exciting player to see. Kayvon Wallace is a guy that I think is just light years of improvement with his experience from last year. So yeah, and then the depth up front. You know, to be able to see Jordan Williams go play this year. You know, I mean, you got Huggins and Dexter and Christian inside, and Albert is a guy that man, the light has come on for him. I think he's really fixing to have a great year. I hope and pray he can stay healthy because I think he's got a chance to really be the guy that we all thought he could be. And again, sometimes it takes guys a little bit longer than others to. You know, he was an end. He had to learn how to play tackle, and you know, just not as mature as he needed to be early on. But I think the light has come on for him, and strong. Oh my Lord, he's easily one of the top 2 or 3 strongest kids on the team. So that little veteran group inside, and then you say, okay, well, let's see. I think Niles Pinckney's ready to take a step. I see a total different body language in him. He sees an opportunity. I see. Jordan Williams and the work that he's put in, he's a guy that's going to be exciting to see. And then you look at all that young talent at the end. You know, I mean, you know, it takes pressure off of some of those guys like Clee and Austin. They don't have to go play 60 snaps. They don't have to go play 50 snaps because it's going to be a Grand Canyon drop off in talent. You know, there's going to be a drop-off for some guys in experience, but not talent. And so that's exciting. And so guys buying into and being selfless and saying, you know what, hey, I need to get this guy. This guy needs to play some. It's going to help me in the fourth quarter, and it's going to help me as we go through the course of the season. And then it's going to allow us to develop our team and develop some of the key depth that I think we need to be the best version of us this year. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him. Kendall Joseph back. I mean, this guy's not many people ask me about Kendall Joseph, but he's really as good a linebacker as we've had my 9 years. Brent hadn't been here all 9 years, but he's been here a bunch of them. He'd probably tell you the same thing. I mean, the guy's smart. He's crafty. He's very instinctive. He's a good tackler. He's a good teammate. He can play Mike or Will. Really good football player in the middle that has a chance to kind of be a quarterback. You know, kind of like baseball. When you're strong up the middle, you got a chance, right? And I think we're going to be that way with those guys.
Dabo, I guess moving a step closer to your version of an all-Sweeney team this fall. Is the experience with Drew, you think,
Oh,
would
yeah.
be any different than it was with Will? I imagine they're, different.
Yeah.
personalities.
Any of y'all that have kids, you know that they're all different.
Yeah.
And, they're similar in ways, and you can really tell if you're spending time with them, you can tell they're brothers. But they have very unique personalities, very different. Two, first of all, just really great young men. Probably dad shouldn't say that. But, it's like, oh, well, he's being dad, proud dad, and I am, but it's really more, the coach, and because I just know how hard they work, and they're two guys that really epitomize what you want your program to be about and what you want your team to be about, and just being committed to excellence and being committed to being the best you can be. And Will and Drew, that's just who they are, and their coaches would tell you that. Their friends, they don't need their dad to say that, but it would be a shame if I didn't say that, because that's who they are. And just really proud of them and excited. I've never really been able to coach them on the field. I had a ball with Will last year, and it's been fun. They both got some talent, and they'll be productive guys as they go through. Will came at a good time because we lost our two holders the year before, and he's held a long time, so he did a great job for us. Would have liked to have redshirted him, but we really needed him, and we should hopefully be able to redshirt Drew, and it'd be kind of neat to get a couple years between them because they've always been kind of right on top of each other. But they'll be great guys and good teammates, and they just love their experience. Love everything about Clemson. I think it's really neat for me as a dad that my two boys, their dream was to come 2 miles. To me, and that's probably one of the best compliments that I can give Clemson, to be honest with you. I'd like to think we've been good parents and all that, but I think it's just a great compliment to Clemson and the people of Clemson, because they've spent their whole life here, from preschool to kindergarten, elementary, middle, high school, and you'd think sometimes kids might be like, can't get out of here fast enough, but the fact that they wanted to be here, it's exciting for me. So really proud of them, and excited to have Drew come in and go to work, got Jake Venables coming in too. It's kind of a unique situation that we've got. That's just kind of where we are in life, Ben Batson's coming in. JD and Judah are going to be seniors this year, so it's really neat.